Howdy, welcome to DreadPathZone. I'm Michael.
I'm Tyler, as always.
And we are here to play a game of Warpath Firefight. Super excited for this. I'll be bringing in some enforcers that are the Sevens Bolt.
And you all voted for me to play Marauders. So I'm basically bringing what I have as Marauders. I could have combined forces with him, or I could have used a bunch of stuff from 40k.
I was pushing for a mirror match. I thought it'd be cool. Another time, perhaps.
I didn't even include that. I didn't want to play mirror match. Anyways, I'm going to be playing Marauders. It's pretty much all my Mantic official stuff, so I don't know if it's the best list in the world, but I'm excited for it.
Tyler has built a wicked awesome board, and we can't wait for you to see it.
It's going to be awesome. I'm going to hint at it before the video comes out, but yeah, you guys will see the final product on the video. This one, right now. So. The mission is Occupation. That's basically a normal, straightforward mission, except that the strategic assets, which are little purple markers when we get up there, those are worth 2 victory points instead of 1. So it's kind of a seize ground control area type mission. We both rolled really low on how many counters there are, so there's only 4. And this should be...
means they're going to be hard fought for.
Yeah,
we're going to see some real contention.
Serious
which is
pressure.
Exciting. Yeah.
And, so Marauders is going to beat some Enforcers. That's pretty much all that's going to happen here, so I think that's all we have to say.
Sounds
so
good.
on to secret missions, and then you get to see the glorious board.
For my first secret mission, I rolled I forget what I rolled, but it was the one that lets you pick any secret mission. So I chose 25. The enemy with the highest points value is worth an additional 3 victory points. Then I rolled a 21, which is that the enemy general destroyed is worth an additional 3 victory points. And a 41, which strategic asset A is worth triple the number of normal victory points. So that makes it go from 2 to 6 for this mission.
I'm very excited. I built this board specifically for Firefight. It's compatible with Dead Zone because that's just how I am. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Quick caveat: this is my second game of Firefight ever, and this is Michael's first game of Firefight ever. So if there's a lot of errors, sorry. We did our research. We should be good to go. But just as a warning, if we get something wrong, take it easy. Anyways, on to my secret mission. So, if my commando captain, not the warlord, but captain, if he survives to the end of the game, I get 3 victory points. If I don't have any bad guys enter my deployment zone at the end of the game, I get 3 victory points. And this is the really exciting one. Objective D is worth times 3 it normally is. And normally in this mission, it's worth 2, so it's worth 6 victory points. If I can secure Objective D, that's huge. So it's going to be all about that D. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that in there because it's funny. Let's go check out the armies, and then you'll finally get to see the awesome board. So here we have my Marauders. So let's start out with the leaders. We have the mercenary warlord guy on the left, clearly the combat-oriented guy, and then I have the military genius general over here, and he's the captain. So now I have a unit. This is a Dreadball Keeper modded up into Dead Zone worthy, Firefight worthy. This is my up close and personal squad of commandos. It's 5 strong. There is one with a flamethrower, and then the guy with the claw. Then I have the skyscrapers. I have 2 Mantic official, and then 3 that are from the other guys. Nothing too special about them. I have 2 Ripper suits, both with the overkill loadout because, come on, you're not gonna not overload them. The guy with the little ammo sticker, Mr. 2 Guns right there, has an HMG. Otherwise, that's just a unit of 5 commandos. That's an identical squad. 7 mobbies. One of them is Michael's, so shout out to that. And then I've got the 2 Mauler variants. I'm curious how they work. They don't get a ton of dice or anything, so we'll see how they do. And finally, I have 2 squads of Goblin Snipers. There you go, Marauders. I will be using the black dice. We will both be using the blue dice as the special weapons.
And here we have my Enforcer list. The Sevens Bolt. Starting, we have 2 squads of regular Enforcers, each with burst lasers. In the middle there, my Enforcer Captain. With regular issue equipment, I am using Sergeant Howlett because He's awesome. I have him, and I have him painted as Wolverine, clearly his inspiration, so I am playing with him. Next we have a Pathfinder unit, and there's also a Forward Observer, which grants 3 command dice. Here we have a Pathfinder Bike. Here we have a squad of Assault Enforcers with a Flamethrower. Here we have the Enforcer Accuser Interceptor with those twin heavy burst lasers. And then last but certainly not least, we have 2 squads of Enforcer jet bikes, each with missile launchers. I'll be using the white dice.
So this is the Firefight board. I made it completely Dead Zone compatible because, well, because that's just kind of the person I am. Yeah, I made a cityscape. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. I also have these little potted plants just to bring some life to it. But enough of these fluffy stuff. Let's go to where the objectives are. So we have objective B right here. C is in this tower. D is in this courtyard. And if we swing around, we can see A is on this bridge. And we will be deploying along this line and the far line over there. And that's pretty much all you need to know. It's going to be a fun, bloody time. So I rolled a better initiative roll than he did, so I will deploy first. But as with all of the Warpath games, you trade back and forth. So there you go. Quick edit here. We actually just moved, what's it called? Objective C to be on that red building, just because it's a little more balanced that way. So now onto deployment. Alright, we are all set up. I have some snipers on the far right, and then all my assaulty guys are kind of up front. My commander's there with this squad, and the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. So that's what I'm looking at. Notice I can't see basically any of Michael's guys.
And here's the Enforcer side. We got that Interceptor appropriately on the landing pad. Bikes, Pathfinder bikes. We got some snipers in the tower. Commander hiding out. Some regular Enforcers here and other bikes.
You know, I gotta say, the gray on these guys really blends in. They look really great. Urban camo. I'm going to start off with the Ripper suits getting out of the middle of the street. And I guess they will technically be double moving, even though they're only going like 6 inches. But
Sure. What's the normal move?
it's 5.
Okay.
So
Got it.
they just want to be up against that
Yeah.
building, I think. So that's it.
And Interceptor flying in. And firing on these mean goblin snipers.
Yeah, they're so screwed.
So I get 6 dice. Normally accuracy is 3. They are in cover, so I'm hitting on a 4. 50%.
Or are you?
Can't argue with that.
Now 2s because goblins are pathetic.
Yep. And I have 3 that are taken out. And
So that is 3 guys dead. They get a suppressive token for getting shot at in general. 1 because they took damage, and the twin heavy burst lasers are suppressive fire 2 for a total of 4 on those guys. Serve is 2, so now they are grounded as well because they just got lit up. That's my dog. They just got lit up by that. So the mob beasts are going to enter this terrain piece.
gonna have these Pathfinders fire upon this orc unit there.
On the bridge, just
Yep.
for fun.
So normally these would hit on a 3-up. They're hitting on a 4-up because the opposing unit is in cover. And we have 3 hits. Happy with that. Tyler, what's their defense?
4, so
4, so wounding on... This is AP 2, so they're wounding 2-ups.
it's brutal. Wounding 2-ups.
So I got 3, and it's suppressive fire 1.
Ouch. So, again, I'm being a klutz today. That is 3 models dead out of that unit, and then they take... Sorry for the background noise, we're playing in the garage, obviously. They take 1 for suppressive, 1 for getting shot at, 1 for losing guys, and we had to look this up, but this is a tag marker, so this unit is now tagged as well. Which means this unit is suppressed. And I did not realize this, but unflinching units in Firefight, so slightly different. It just means they don't take the suppression check from a ranged attack, so there's that. These guys are going to double move up to that barricade. There you go.
These jet bikes are going to fire upon this orc unit here. So I get 2 shots for the regular Genling laser, 1 for the missile launcher. I'm using the missile launcher function with blast, which means it will ignore the cover benefit, so it will hit on a 3-up. These will hit on 4-ups. Great, that hits. That hits. Blast is D3 plus 1. So after the hits, is this how this works, Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you roll and then you multiply through that.
So this is D3 plus 1, so 1 plus 1, so times 2, so I get 1 more.
Yay!
All of these have AP 1. The defense value, so these are wounding on 3s. And I have 1.
Poor guy. The Ripper suits are going to move forward and then fire their rocket launchers at those lovely jet bikes over there. Before I roll the dice for that, this commander is going to issue an order. I got it for the one that lets me re-roll the misses. Firestorm, I think it is. Yeah, Firestorm. So I got it. I don't get the dice back, but I think it'll be worth it. So they are they are accuracy of 4 up. So here goes nothing, and I get to re-roll because of the order. Come on, that's a 5.
That's a success.
So 2 successes, and then it was blast. That's why I'm ignoring the cover. So now it is D3 plus 1.
Yours is just D3.
Or just D3, sorry.
Yep.
Just D3, so times 2 is 4.
Double that up. AP 3. Defensive 5, so that's wounding on 2 ups.
That'll do, pig.
That is. Those are 2 bikes that are gone. I'm going to.
Oh, we have the landing set. Okay.
Yep. I'm going to attempt a refresh order on this Enforcer Interceptor. 1. I've got. I get it. I get just enough, and I get 1 of the dice back, which is lovely.
Hooray. That's terrible.
Now the Interceptor, with its moving 16 inches. I'm just going to kind of scope out how it will lie. Make sure I can see those Ripper suits there. There we go. This would be a 6 dice, hitting on 4 ups, because they're in cover. That is terrible for me.
Seeing that.
Wounding on, what's their defense?
5, so they're wounding on 3.
3, that is 1.
So that is a wound. Resilience technically in this game, but I think it should be called wounds because it makes way more sense. And then they get 2 for the suppressive fire, 2 on the weapon, and then 1 for getting shot at in general, and then 1 more for taking damage. So, yeah. Only a nerve of 3, but this commander guy is inspiring, and they're within range, so they're technically nerve 4, and they're still suppressed. These guys are going to activate. They are headstrong, so they get rid of a suppression token as they start, and they are going to enter terrain along with these mob beasts. They're going to run in here. All 3 of them. Yeah. Just like so.
These bikes here are going to move over here. I guess, yeah, we can get some cover. And they're going to fire at the Ripper suits. This is going to be the blast version of the missile launcher, so it'll ignore the terrain. The cover benefit hits on a 3-up. I get it. Its blast is D3 plus 1, so it's going to be 2 plus 1, so it'll be 3. And then these are wounding on 4-ups.
AP 1.
1. AP 1, that's right.
Cool. One more wound, and that's a dead Ripper. And I put this on this guy, but it really should be on this guy, because he's not as painted. Not quite done.
Yeah.
So he's dead.
Yeah.
And that's 2 more suppression tokens for getting shot at and getting damaged. Sorry about the dog. These guys here are just gonna hop back behind this wall.
These enforcers are gonna move up, back into here, and then they're gonna shoot in that orc unit that was tagged earlier.
Ooh, sneaky.
Now the burst laser is the only thing in range, but because of the tag, it means it'll hit regularly on a 3-up. So I get 3, AP 2, so wounding on 2s. That is 3.
Since the other guy can't actually be seen whatsoever down there, just 2 I did. I guess I'll put these guys in Overwatch, and that's all for my guys. So
These enforcers are going to go here, up behind here, and then they're going to shoot in through this doorway at those mob beasts. So only the burst laser is in range, hitting on 4-ups because the opponents are in cover. And I've got 1.
seems about right. There's a lot of stuff in the way.
Okay, so 2-up. I've got 1.
Boom. Well, 1 dies, and joke's on you because it's your model. And then they get 2 suppressions.
My lone Pathfinder bike is going to come up and take cover in this building.
Does that make sense?
Because it makes sense. There we go. And Sergeant Howlett is just going to be activated. And that completes my activations.
And that concludes the first round. Some casualties, nothing too crazy. I took quite a few. A lot of my guys are dead, and only the jet bikes were killed on Michael's side. So let's see what happens round 2. Here we go. So this is recovery for these snipers over here. We're grounded. I have to roll under. Oh, that's not too bad actually. But there's only 2 models. So 1 model dies because I'm rolling under my nerve value. My nerve value is 2.
I think you can choose between the options, Tyler, that for each one you can either remove a model or the unit falls directly back towards its own edge D3 inches.
Oh, great. I'll do that. Minus D3 inches, or runs back D3 inches, so runs back 1 inch, which I'll take. And then I rolled the rally, and my rally sucked. I rolled a 1.
So you get 1+1.
1 plus 1's 2, so they're suppressed but not grounded anymore, and all things considered could be worse. Is headstrong, so he gets rid of 1 of those. And he will rally, which gets rid of another 1. Then he will take a shot at the jet bikes with the rocket launchers. First, a firestorm order. Yep, he got it. That was a 1. Sorry, I flipped it, but it was a 1. I don't get it back, and now he gets to reroll and he shoots. So 5 up. Hey, he's got it. He actually hit it. Didn't need to waste the order, but oh well. And now that is multiplied by D3. Lame. And hitting on, or wounding on 3.
3-up.
Well,
Bike takes a wound. Flying in here. The interceptor zeroing in with these twin burst lasers upon that last Ripper. Hitting on a 3+, because above and right behind I have a full view of the model. There, those are 4, wounding on 2, 5, 3-ups. And we've got him.
Sir Rippington of Ripperston. I don't know where I'm going with that. He's dead. I'm going to issue an order to these goblin snipers. It's a level 1 order. I rolled a triple, so they're good to go. But this is the hit and run basically they're just out of range, so I'm going to advance them up just enough so that they are now in range. And
Oh, range of whom?
hit and run, they can now shoot at those enforcers. 5 dice hitting on 4s because of the cover. Meh at best. And they are AP 1, so
wounding on a 4-up.
4s. Yeah, got 1.
That's 1. 1 model out. They take 1 suppression for being hit and 1 for being wounded.
And 1 more.
And 1 for suppression 1.
There you go.
Rolling to refresh the interceptor. I've got it, and I get a dice back, which is lovely. Interceptor. The interceptor is going to fire at that team of Ripper suits. So twin heavy burst lasers hitting on 4-ups because of cover. And that is phenomenal. Wounding on 3-ups. Defense 5, AP 2. They are toast. The interceptor.
And there goes my super cool guys. These boys are just going to advance up until the interceptor just flies around and shoots them again. But there they are.
Pathfinder bike, 40 inches on those goblin snipers. 1 die, normally would hit on a 3+, 4+ because of cover. And it's a miss.
Yay! These guys, more in particular, this guy from the HMG, Mr. Two Guns McGee over here, and the rest of his squad. Going to kind of tuck in over here. And then he will take a shot at the enforcers behind the lamppost. So he gets 3 dice, he's hitting on 4s, like a boss. 2 of those hit, and now they need 5s. Hey, I got 1. So that's 1 guy who got shot up.
Oh! They take 1 for being shot at, 1 for being wounded, and 1 for suppression.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are grounded. Got some sniper on sniper action here. That'll be 5 shots. Would hit on a 3. They're in cover, so they're hitting on 4s. Those are 5 misses.
Wow. Okay. Dodged a bullet there. I cracked myself up. The mob beasts are going to rearrange within this enormous building because they're tired of getting shot at. And they're going to rally, or regroup. Sorry, regroup.
I'm going to attempt to rally these enforcers. They're grounded right now, so I have to roll based on the suppression that's on them. I need 3 or less. I'm seeing what is happening with this. And so rolling here. So 1, 2 is... nothing is going on with that. On 4 of these, they're going to have to move back D3 or lose models. So we're going to see what's happening with that. So that means they go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches. So they fall back to here. And now they're rolling D6 suppression, or 1 plus D6. That's like unfortunate. I do.
That's terrible. So they're suppressed but not grounded.
Yep.
And they're running with their tails between their legs.
Yep.
Within range of my commander is 12 inches. That's that little suppression token right there. And my skyscraper guys are going to fly on in. So I'm going to roll command for that, which will be 2. It's in order, it's level 2, so they land exactly where I want them to. And I'm not getting lucky with getting the dice back at all.
You're not.
I only have 1 command die left, which is not the best. And now the skyscrapers are going to shoot those jet bikes. 2 of the models are going to get the short range, the Mantic official ones obviously, because they're badass. And then the other 3 are going to just be shooting normally at the jet bikes. The blue dice are on 4s, the black dice are on 5s. And now they need
Defense is 5.
5s. Hey!
2, so 1 is gone and 1 is wounded. There's
Oh.
1 lingering wound.
That'll do.
This would be... dude, I'm not... I'm going to say whichever one was the special weapon. I'm not really sure I designated. Here we go, I guess. So,
Whoever has the rocket launcher is still out there.
is rock launcher. He's out there. Doing
But
his thing.
He's
He's wounded.
Yep. On his last leg.
10 inches, flying over here. And this jet bike is shooting at that Marauder commander. 3 up due to blast. Is a hit. Rolling for the blast, D3 plus 1. So that is 3. Just the 1. It is AP 2.
Yeah, it's 2s.
So wounding on 2s. Alright,
Yeah,
that is
we know.
1 KO'd commander.
What a disappointing life. I'm going to get rid of one of these as a regroup action on the snipers. They're going to move up, because that's what they do. Maybe, just maybe, next round they'll be able to shoot something, but not likely.
These guys are moving 6 inches here,
Ooh, that's snazzy.
right?
Leaning on the rail.
And then they are going to fire upon the skyscrapers over there. Here's first laser hitting on 4 ups. Because they're cover. 2 hit. So wounding on 3s.
You'll still probably get someone.
Got 1.
Got one. Railing anyways. And they took some damage and got shot at. We just found out that the burst laser does not have suppression, which is very interesting because the HMG does. And I just kind of assumed that it did, that the burst laser had it because of Dead Zone, but I guess not. So, the more you know. Sergeant Howlett over there is just gonna.
He's
chill
just
out.
gonna howl!
Ow! I don't think that's how it works. Anyways, that is the end of round 2. Another crazy bloody round. Some interesting movement and things happening. I'm just gonna get torn apart by this interceptor all game because I really didn't bring any anti-tank stuff, which is really dumb. But that is the current state of the board, and here we go, round 3.
My homies, the skyscrapers, are going to hotshot some snipers.
Before I do that, they remove. I'm gonna spend my last command action to get these guys Firestorm. Still nothing back, but I got it. So they get to re-roll their misses. 5 dice hitting on 5s because of cover. And I'll take it.
Nice.
And then I get to re-roll these 2. Yeah.
Got 4.
Okay. And these don't have AP, so it is 4s, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah, so it's a 4.
4s.
Oh!
Disappointed. That's 1 dead.
1 for taking hits, 1 for having a wound.
Yep. Since shooting is a short action, they will take their second short action and move. And that's where they're going to end it. Quick correction that we haven't been doing all game that we kind of forgot about, but hasn't come up too often, is a unit in defensible terrain is unflinching, so they would not take the initial shot from getting shot at to hit. But they still take the 1 for the wound. So, only 1 on the snipers. Along that same vein, these mobbies never would have had that.
Alright, my snipers are firing on enemy snipers.
How could you shoot those little guys? They're so cute.
Hitting on 4 ups. 1.
Oh my goodness.
Wounding on, what's their defense?
Your 2s.
2. Okay.
Their defense is 2, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
I've got it. So I take out 1.
So that is 3 suppressions, 1 for the suppressive fire, 1 for losing a guy, and 1 for getting shot at, and now they are tagged as well. A lot of stuff for losing 1 guy. And if you can
then
believe it,
This burst laser will thread the needle through around this bridge at
It's
this orc
possible.
unit here.
but barely.
Hitting on 4 ups. I got 4.
You should be your sniper.
He should be. Wounding on, is their defense 4?
Yes.
Wounding on 3s. I got 3.
Well, you should definitely be your sniper. That's ridiculous. So 3 guys died, and now they take some suppression as well. I'm actually gonna leave the flamethrower guy in there just because.
Sure.
But
They're just gonna rally. Oh, yeah, great. They remove all their suppression.
the heavy machine gun guy is going to aim up at that bridge and shoot at that jetpack. 3 dice on 5s. Heyo.
You got it. Nice.
And then on 5s
5 ups
again.
again. 1, 2.
Hey,
He's out.
that is badass. Yeah, boy. Spitting them bullets. 2 guns. 2 guns.
Pathfinder bike, firing at those snipers. Benefit of the previous tag negates the cover bonus, so hitting on a 3+. Got it. Wounding on a 2.
Always.
Got it.
And that is 3 more. And another model. So they are definitely grounded by a lot. As they are grounded like crazy, I gotta roll really low. Like an Axis and Allies. And I did not. So, see how far they go. And they run off the table. Because they ran like crazy. So, what do you know? Goblins are cowards. News! Breaking news!
There we go. Sergeant activates.
These guys are going into Overwatch.
Interceptor activating for the turn. Yeah, firing it. Hitting on 4+.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Wounding on 2+. There we got 1.
There you go. And he dies.
Command roll. I get it, but I don't get either of the dice back.
Finally. So it's gonna fly back over here, and then since it ignores all the terrain, we're gonna have it sit up there theoretically, and then shoot straight down into the lobbies.
Now, 6. So these shots hitting on 4 pluses, starting cover. 2, 3. Wounding on 2s. I get 3.
Boots 3, suppressive fire 2, and then for losing guys, and 3 of them are gonna die.
Suppressive fire 1.
Suppressive fire 1, like I said.
AP 2.
So, yeah. So 2, and 3 of them die.
They're gonna drop the Enforcer Assault team. That Enforcer Assault team is shooting on those mob beasts. Regular guns at less than 6 inches are hitting on 2s or more. This is hitting on 3 ups because it has saturation, so it always hits on a 3 or more. 2, so those are done. This has like saturation 2d3.
Yeah.
So here's for the 2d3. That is 1 and 3, so 4.
This is so original.
There we go. And then is it all AP1?
It's all gonna be M2s.
Really? Okay. 2s. Okay. Those mob beasts are gone.
A power play move. We think we played this right just because this is such an open building that it made sense that they can like pair a troop in there and shoot it up. That we kind of played that by ear, but I think that works.
In part, we're sort of playing it as separate
Yeah.
terrain pieces because we weren't treating it as just one giant piece of defensible terrain.
Anyways, there you
Feel
go.
free to post comments. These enforcers are going to double move over here. There we go.
And that's the end of turn 3. And entering turn 4, Marauders are looking very, 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 very sparse. So I guess we'll see. But I don't see a lot of good things happening for me. These homies are going to kind of a YOLO moment here. Because they're not going to live much longer. There's just way too many things that are going to surround them.
He really doesn't like standing up.
They're going to go up here and they're going to...
He would be a really bad Bob Marley fan. Ha!
He's going to They're all gonna shoot at that solo sniper. Hits on 5s. Ugh.
You got 1.
Wounds on 4s. Yeah.
1.
Resilience 1 or 2.
It's 5 resilience 2.
Ah, that sucks.
No suppression. Let's chuck a wound.
Yeah.
And
Shot it.
was hit. Yeah. The interceptor flying back over towards its previous target. 16 inches here. Zeroing in on that mean old man there.
Oh yeah, he's been such a devastating force.
Firestorm. Do I make it? I do.
What a jerk. Capital J jerk.
Hitting on 4+. Rerolling those misses. Great. And winning 2s. There we go.
Well. Ah, me arm. These commandos in the back are going to sprint or double move, whatever, up to that one.
Yes. The assault enforcers are going to double move up and over through here.
These goblin snipers are going to double move up to there. And that's their activation.
My lone sniper is firing at the skyscrapers. Hitting on a 4. I get it. Wounding on a 3. Fails. I'm going to follow that up with the snipers just on the next level. Let's see, there's 4. And then there's 3 from a burst laser. So these are going to hit on 4s. I was hoping to tag them before this. Oh well. So there, those are hits. Wounds on 3s.
If you're AP1, right?
Yes, and they are. So that's only 1. Okay.
Wow, you are not rolling well.
Not so much.
This guy takes a bullet to the face, and they take 2 suppression.
Six, and now they are within 6 inches.
Ooh, brutal.
So from them, we're gonna have 2 regular shots, and 3 from the burst laser, and they are tagged from the Pathfinders. So I will hit on 3-ups.
2.
With 6 inches, yeah. So I'll hit tagged and within 6 inches. So hitting on 2s. Well, good thing. Wounding on 3s. I got 2.
And there goes 2 more. With 1 more suppression.
These guys are hopping up here. So I'm going to split fire with them with their 2 weapons. The burst laser is going to fire at orcs over yonder, and the regular gimlings are going to fire at this last skyscraper. Right, so that last skyscraper that is tagged. So these will hit on 3-ups. Yes, and yes, he
Got
is
him.
out.
Barely, but you got him.
Yeah, and then the burst laser on those dudes in cover far off. These are hitting on 4-ups. They are all missing,
they ain't.
so nothing happens there.
No, the pistolero. No manches bueno, por favor.
Sergeant Howlett doing a double move and joining with his enforcer buddies over here.
That's the end of round 4. Now this is the last turn of the game. I still think that these go way too long. 5 turns seems excessive to me, personally. But here we go, round 5. I have a total of 1 unit left. Oh, 2 if you include the gobos over there. So here we go, last round. For some reason, these guys are just gonna run over here. I don't know.
Interceptor. Fine. Back to here. They're gonna shoot at these guys here. Hitting 3s. Winning on 2s. That's 4. Yeah.
And then there was 1. Yep. I ain't no quitter. He's gonna go run out here in the middle of the field just because he can. And he's going to shoot at, oh god, who knows? Screw it. He's gonna shoot those guys up there.
Good.
Yeah. 3 dice.
Yep.
And now it's on 5s. He took 1 guy out with him, so.
Because he's already leaning, he's got that kind of leaning back pose.
Yeah, screw that guy. Alright, do your worst.
They're going to assault in, double move.
Yeah, why not? Well, he's gonna roll all of his dice because he's a jerk, but I get 1 die. And I hit on a 3.
3 ups.
Ooh. Not great. And I wound. I have AP 1, so on a 4. Ah, you bastard.
And I have AP 1. Yeah, so I 3s. There we go.
Yep.
Ugh.
No! And that's game.
These guys over
I
here.
mean, these guys are just gonna run home and tell the tale.
Oh!
Yeah, obviously Michael is gonna claim all the objectives at the end of the game except for that one. So. Yeah, well, I guess we'll have a post-show, but obviously there's a clear winner, so yikes. That was fun, though.
But a right fine
Interesting.
afternoon.
And there you have it. The Seven's Bolt inflicted fierce vengeance upon the poor Marauders.
Yeah, kind of sucked. It was
I'm sorry,
fun.
Tyler.
Yeah, it's okay. It was very fun, but combined arms is far more important than I thought it would be. I figured because the board was so small that people would be in range pretty quickly, but none of my guys were ever in range, it felt.
There was enough line of sight, like my couple sniper units were able to really stay back and keep some control on the board. Obviously, the Interceptor was huge.
Yeah,
Not
the
to mention
Interceptor
being able to use that twice a turn, 3 turns in a row.
it basically just deletes 2
really
units
huge.
every turn.
One thing that we sort of missed was that the Interceptor is always visible. A flyer is always visible to any unit on the board.
I definitely should have been shooting HEW Hue beamers at it the whole time, but I didn't because I forgot.
So that could have
So,
seriously
yeah.
changed some stuff, because with that fire focused on the Interceptor, that could have been taken down in
Even then,
usually in 2 turns.
even then I needed more of it anyways. I also think that the way flyers move is kind of weird. I think they're way too free with their movement. I think they should be like pivot and move kind of thing, but like not being able to completely turn around and fly backwards, and it just basically your guy always has range at everything.
In this case, well, especially for firefight, and because we were on a 4x4 board,
Yeah,
I mean, I could literally
16
drop
inches
it
of moving,
anywhere,
and then you have 28 inches, right?
and then 28-inch range.
Which is the whole
Yeah.
board, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that seems like a priority. If you play Firefight, you definitely need to kill the flyers. Yeah, I just think I needed more well-rounded stuff, but also I have a hard time seeing how assault units can get into combat. If you have good ideas on how, other than like the aerial deployment guys or some sort of transports, but the transports are so flimsy, at least for Marauders. Like you can't just drive a truck up there; it'll just get shot to death, and then your guys are going to be stuck out in the middle of nowhere. So if you have a good idea of how to get assault guys into fights in Firefight, let me know, because I have no clue.
Though especially with, I mean, most of the transports have a defense of 8. So it taking like a good couple turns likely of dedicated fire to take out a transport.
Yeah, well, Marauders is 6, but
There, oh, is that right? Okay.
yeah.
There.
And then
In part, it's unfortunate that the Marauder list is not fully fleshed out for as a single faction. It's really an augment to the GCPS. So in that vein,
yeah, that's
it's a
true.
little restrictive.
Oh, strategic assets. That's something I wanted to talk about. I've felt like this since the beta editions of both games, that strategic assets need to be constantly changing, or you need to be able to claim it per round instead of just at the end of the game. Because it really, the way it is now, you could just sit back all game, as far back as possible, and then you could just fly up at the end of the game and take the objectives, which just seems wrong.
Which to some degree is what I did. I had my range troops in back that were able to still fire on things and then take it.
Yeah.
and also because the strategic assets only get scored at the very end, it means that if you claim them early, you're just making yourself very vulnerable. So it makes sense to really wait until the end to grab them.
But if you were getting them per round, there would be some pressure to actually go do something. Like my mobbies just sat there in that building waiting for the last round so they could run out and take the objective D, so I can get 6 victory points. Like it just doesn't seem right. I think the way to fix that would be to roll secret missions per round, kind of like 40k does with the Maelstrom cards. Basically, you just get new objectives per round, and then those become your new focus. I think that would be really good. Other than that, I think it should work like Dead Zone, because Dead Zone makes you have to go make a choice to go on that objective and try to take that cube, and then if you don't get points, which, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's no pressure to go get objectives until the last second, it just seems like most of the rounds are just filler. That's how I feel, at least. I don't know if you agree, but
I think it's helpful to really keep the height of things in deployment zones low, to kind of diminish some of the power of ranged units just from the beginning, along with having some more intervening just line of sight blocking terrain to again further diminish the power that the long range units have from deployment zones, so that they really have to enter. So maybe they'll have an ICU with some part of the map, but that can be further controlled.
yeah, I think that makes sense. It's not like, I don't know, both sides had something tall, it's just your guys actually had range.
Yeah, I was taller, and then I had range on your snipers.
My
while
snipers had
yours had a
30-inch
shorter
range,
than
which
mine.
sucks.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Because the way that works is that the snipers don't seem much better than just HMG guys, because if they're only 2 inches more, why bother? I mean, you get 3 dice with an HMG, and you get 1 die with a sniper, so just drop the sniper and just bring a bunch of heavy machine guns, right?
Yeah, you'd lose the suppression in 1 AP.
Yeah, it's just I guess you'd lose AP, but they have the same suppression and way more effective if you're able to move and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So that just seems weird to me that the Goblin's only 30 inches. I think that seems, I don't know, it just seems way below par.
Clearly, I had the experience of I was happy as heck to have my assault unit in a transport, so that I could wait and drop
fast
it.
as hell transport.
A
too.
fast, yeah, that really helps
I mean,
as well.
If you're only going 10 inches a turn, that's completely different from 16.
But 10 inches a turn on the board that especially
true.
on that 4x4 board, or even if it's 10 inches but you're playing, on a full board over the course of 2 turns, a double move into a regular move, you're going 30 inches. Like, you can really set up especially if you're going for like a refused flank or something just on one side, you can really set up I think probably a strong assault in that vein. Your aerial deployment unit, definitely helpful, but definitely like some stuff with speed that's giving you versatility of how do you get this where you need it to go.
Yeah,
And
I like them. The aerial deployment guys are awesome. The
Yeah.
thing that I forgot to mention that I remember...
Oh, well, this is... Okay.
Yeah, we're recording again because I remember this.
You remember what you wanted to say!
I feel like regular guys kind of suck. It's all about the specialists. For the most part, in pretty much every single unit, only the specialists were the guys who were doing anything. Largely, the normal guys, either a normal enforcer or a normal commando or whatever, I mean, they get 1 die if they're in range, and their range is 9 times out of 10 shorter than the specialist guy.
It's true.
It just seems like they don't have a real purpose or a presence.
Though here's where I think that denser terrain will help bring them into play. Because then if it's harder to find the places where there actually are, 28 or 30 inches where you can actually see that far, that'll limit the cases that the long-range units can be used and force you to get closer, and bring those littler guys in.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think strategic assets need to force you to do stuff. That's
It's definitely
Yeah.
It's definitely been a continual thing in mine and Tyler's games where the waiting to grab the strategic assets to the very end, like
especially when that's the mission. That's the full mission. Like Occupation is all about strategic assets. You get a ton of points for claiming them, but like, why? Because if you wanted to break the game, this is what you do: is you bring a couple units of Pathfinders, and you bring a bunch of jet bikes, and so the Pathfinders would sit there and shoot stuff, just so you have something to do during the turns. And then on turn 5, you just issue a whole bunch of move orders on your jet bikes, and they fly 30 inches or something stupid, or murder birds, or everyone has something like it basically, where you can just go from way over here to way over there, and like no time flat, and then you win the game. But that's just if you want to break the game. If you had to get the objectives every turn, that wouldn't happen. That's all I'm saying. I'm off my soapbox. Okay.
well, there you have it.
Yeah, there you go.
Still a great way to spend the afternoon.
Yeah, and a beautiful board, which I'm very happy I did basically just for this game. I knew that we were going to play it today, so I cranked out the board, and I cranked out like all of my Marauders. I had like probably half of them done, maybe, and it basically kicked my butt into gear, and I painted a ton, so
That's impressive.
that was good.
I had almost all of my troops primed, but because the color happens to be almost the same as the plastic, you may or may not be able to tell which are which.
I just said it was urban camouflage.
Urban camouflage.
Very, very good
Yeah.
urban camouflage.
It was very effective in this environment.
Yeah, well, that's about all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this Firefight Battle Report. Go play some games of your own and tell me how I can be better, because my god, that was rough.
Thanks for
I
watching.
also got lucky because his dice were crap. If his dice were really good, the game would have been over
That's
in
true.
like
It
the
could have
second
been
round.
worse.
God. Anyways, please like, comment, subscribe, and keep rolling 8s or 6s since it's Warpath, but who's counting? See ya.